I'm not dead. That sounds like something interesting. I don't know why I've never done it before. I know it's a good thing to do, give blood to the Lane Blood Center, but until now I found more excuses than reasons.
Greetings, Rick. Thank you for coming in today.
Oh, you're welcome. Now I'm stuck, excuse the pun. The entire Rick Dancer TV show is centered around blood donations and the Lane Blood Center. Whose idea was this anyway? I'll blame the videographer. He's behind the camera. He's not going to tell. Anyway, let's get started. The first thing you do after you get your paperwork filled out is you go into a room and talk about that paperwork. You can't come in there with me, so you have to stay out here. What you can do while I'm back there is watch this first story we did for you. Tonight's whole show is about recycling in one way or another, whether it's recycling products for goodwill, or recycling your blood, or recycling old commercial and industrial land. That's the first story, brownfields. We got a young man from Springfield, Andreas, to help us with this story because there's a Spanish version, and I don't speak Spanish, and he does. Here's the report we put together, and I'll be back. This is a brownfield. Hi, I'm Rick Dancer.
I'm Andres Herrera.
We had no idea what a brownfield was until we started doing this story and looked into it.
Brownfields are very important to our community. Here's why.
If Eugene, Springfield, and Lane County are going to create the best place for future generations to live and thrive, recycling old commercial and industrial sites will be an important component. There are sites throughout the region that are underused and could be very valuable to all of us.
A project is underway to identify brownfields in Lane County.
In order for this community to grow economically, we have to have sites that people can build on and that jobs can be located on, and we're really limited.
This is a brownfield.
A brownfield is a property that is compromised by either real or perceived environmental contamination.
Right now, it's unclear how many reusable brownfields are out there. Most of these brownfields are abandoned or underutilized, but have huge potential for reuse.
Brownfields could have downsides for property owners.
And the fear from a property owner obviously is cost and liability. What is the cost of cleaning it up, and what is my liability in the case that some of that contamination may have creeped over into an adjacent property?
A nearly $700,000 grant from the Environmental Protection Agency is the first step in a pilot program that is underway.
Eugene, Springfield, and Lane County are working together on this project.
The biggest obstacle we have is really going to be working with the private property owners. There's a lot of perceptions that are somewhat negative when you start identifying and talking about brownfields and contamination.
We'll be building a new brew house and fermentation space and cellar area, which will create the beer, which will then pipe back across to our existing brewery for packaging.
Ninkasi Brewery is in the process of redeveloping a brownfield near its Whitaker plant.
This building will be torn down. We'll maintain a truck access here, but basically all of the lot and building area that currently exists will be turned into a facility, an enclosed facility for producing more beer.
An environmental study shows some contamination on the property.
A lot of it has to do with our desire to be in this neighborhood, our desire to use this property in conjunction with our existing location, and really to turn something that maybe wouldn't have another use otherwise into a more productive site.
Sequential fuel is built on what used to be a brownfield.
It took years and plenty of planning, money, and cooperation between local agencies and the Department of Environmental Quality to make this property what it is today.
Generally, brownfields are going to be in urban areas. They're going to be related to neighborhoods. So they're areas that we drive by every day that are a part of our communities, and a lot of times, because they're brownfields, that means nobody wants to touch them, nobody wants to get involved with them.
Lane County partnered with Sequential Fuel to assist in the process and redevelopment of this site.
Neighbors should be informed and involved in this process.
So getting that site back up into productive use for the community also means it's generating tax income for the local government, which is important.
Really what we're doing is recycling farmer, commercial, and industrial land, and that fits in perfectly what this region is all about.
The first phase of this project is to identify brownfields.
What are you not doing with this project?
We are not whistleblowing. We're not trying to find property owners and fine them or anything like that. This is really a project where we're looking to stimulate some economic development activity, create jobs, add value to properties that right now don't have a lot of value, don't have a lot of taxable value. They aren't really contributing to the community in that they're either vacant or underutilized.
Once brownfields are identified and assessed, the next phase of the project would be to try to find funding for cleanup.
What's exciting about this is not only that there's all this job creation development potential, but to see something that's not making a contribution to the community turned into something that is a very exciting prospect.
Sequential says it's worth it.
The two choices are embrace it, make it a positive change agent, and do everything that entails, or don't, and it's only going to get worse.
So you may have a question.
There's a phone number and a website you can visit for more information.
Throughout the show tonight, while we're giving blood, we're also going to be introducing you to some other recycling programs. This first one is about why you should not have a garage sale. The top 4 reasons. Watch. Why do you put yourself through it? You know what I'm talking about. You thought you'd just put a few things out for a garage sale and then he shows up. You take 50 cents for that? The negotiator, the bargainer, the cheapskate. How about a nickel for all this? Negotiation is sport to this guy. Okay, how much for all this?
20 bucks.
3. Who let him out anyway? Come on, $8.50, $8.75, $8.85. Why did you do it? Would you take $3 for that? You knew he'd show up. How much for this sign?
It's not for sale.
He always shows up. What about this fishing pole up here? So how much for all these tools and this gas?
It's not for sale.
Now he knows where you live. Hey, so what about this computer in here? Oh wow, look at this lamp. Look at this lamp. You should have taken it to Goodwill. Your stuff is going to end up there anyway. Man, that guy is annoying, and I hear that all the time. I'm sure you're very surprised by that. A lot of people have asked me since I told them I was going to come in and give blood, Rick, you had prostate cancer, so can you do that? And you have to be cancer-free for 1 year before you can donate blood, and I've been cancer-free for 2 years. My oncologist says I'm fine and good to go. One of the major reasons that I'm in here today is because we did a story for the Lane Blood Center on a woman named Nancy Troutman. Watch.
I'm Nancy Troutman. I'm a nurse here at Sacred Heart Riverbend. I've been with Sacred Heart for 21 years. My position here at Sacred Heart is a RN, and I do work the pre-op. I get people ready for surgery. In January, my life was turned upside down. I got a diagnosis of ovarian cancer. It was the second cancer site in 2 years. I had breast cancer also. That was diagnosed in March of 2010. In the last 6 months, since January 3rd, I've had 3 transfusions. The second transfusion happened in March. I was in bed. I couldn't get out. My family kept bringing me food. I had no desire to eat. I had no desire to do anything. I was just so tired. I got my chemotherapy, but I also got a blood transfusion. The next day, I was up, I was moving, I was playing with the grandkids. I don't know if you've ever played Hungry Hippos with little boys, but it's not quite a full contact sport, but there were marbles flying everywhere and lots of laughter and giggles. I was so happy to be part of it, that I could actually enjoy being and doing with the young men, with my grandsons, instead of laying in bed, hearing everything and being left out of everything. To me, it is an improvement in the quality of my life. I can't tell you how thankful I am to whoever donated those units, because it took me from It wasn't life-threatening. I wasn't going to die if I didn't have it, but it took me from not being able to do the things I wanted to do to being a more productive, a happier person. I want to be able to participate in life. I don't want to be an outsider. When I was so tired, I couldn't do that, and that hurt my heart. It made me sad when I had to tell her, honey, I can't come to your game. I'm just too tired tonight. There's more reasons to get blood than just an accident. I've met so many people, even at the infusion center getting blood, that it's their main life. They go there every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks, and that's what they do to keep going. It has given my life a positive twist. It's made me want to play Hungry Hippos, even though marbles fly everywhere. To be able to go swimming with the boys or go to wildlife safari or something, you know, just to be able to continue to live instead of survive. I do want to survive. I'm not ready yet to just sit in a chair and not do anything. I love my career and I love life in general, and I want to be here.
And the blood helps.
Absolutely, it has helped me. I'm hoping not to need any more, but you know, you do what life hands you. So, if I were able to, I would be donating now. I did in my 20s, but I haven't in a long time, and I can't tell you why. Just not something I thought about, but it sure is on my mind now.
I'm Rick Dancer. Welcome to What's Happening in Downtown Eugene. And what's happening in downtown Eugene is we are becoming the leader in high-tech downtown. And Matt Sayer, the Executive Director of the Technology Association of Oregon. What is the Technology Association of Oregon?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Rick.
Oh, you're welcome.
We are a statewide organization. We're a members-based nonprofit. We're based in Portland, but we have a presence here in Eugene. We have over 400 members, member companies statewide. We have some very strong strategic partners here locally in Lane Workforce Partnership, University of Oregon, and the City of Eugene.
What are you trying to do? What is the association trying to do?
Sure. So we effectively help tech companies grow, and we do that by focusing on inputs to growth. And so for tech companies, that means access to talent. We have this amazing university in our backyard, and so we're working closely with the University of Oregon to develop top talent. We're focused on things like infrastructure, and we have the fledgling fiber optic network downtown that there's great opportunity in. So we focus on things that help everyone. A rising tide raises all boats.
This really is a business, an industry that's kind of under the radar for a lot of people in our community because it doesn't look like a mill or something that we're used to seeing. And yet this is percolating. It's boiling, actually.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't know about the tech community downtown and in Lane County in general. But by the numbers, we're now over 400 tech companies in Lane County, employing upwards of 5,000 folks. We actually are a sector that has the highest growth curve of any sector in the economy here in Lane County. The Oregon Department of Employment has projected our growth at 20% by 2015, and by 2020 rather, and we're tracking well ahead of that. So these are great companies, great jobs. They pay the highest of any sector in the economy, and so it's something that is pretty exciting.
But we need fiber optic downtown. There was a pilot project,
Yes.
and that worked well, right?
Yeah. So last summer we had this pilot project come to fruition. There were 3 buildings downtown that were connected to a fiber optic network. The partners in that pilot project were the City of Eugene, Lane Council of Governments, and EWEB, and the Technology Association of Oregon, which is what we're part of. So we connected these buildings and had a pilot, and out of that, some brand new, innovative internet services came forward. And so now in downtown, we have a gigabit internet connection. So super fast.
Really, that's fast.
It's really fast. And the price is equally as exciting. It's just $99. So that puts us at a competitive level with major tech hubs on the West Coast, that price and speed.
So that then brings more tech business to town.
It does, and so it creates jobs, well-paying jobs for Oregonians.
But what you want to see is the city, there's discussions going on, and we can talk about that. This is what's happening downtown.
Sure.
You want to see this expanded to the entire downtown area. Like
Right.
even me over there at 5th Street, and all of us would be kind of tied into this.
Yeah, so you got to start somewhere, and we started with this pilot project in core downtown with 3 buildings. The proposed project takes it bigger and takes it to 120 buildings downtown. And we're already starting to hear stories from folks who are in the buildings that got connected. Businesses like Code Shops who, for the first time in 5 years, are full and talking about expanding. So they're a have. And then we have other companies who don't have access and who have talked about how they were going to hire, say, 12 new employees, but only could hire 9 because they didn't have the speeds necessary to facilitate tech jobs.
And other business like mine, video production, I have to have really high speeds in order to get that video to transfer to a TV station every month. So I think a lot of people may not understand how many of us really do depend on faster and faster service for this sort of thing.
True. It's not just technology companies that utilize the internet. More and more, it's not a nice to have. This is critical to everyone's business. So it's not just tech companies. It's digital creatives. It's schools. Like this is infrastructure. It's not a nice to have.
Okay, now let's talk about the hackathon that's coming up, and also the other event. I have this Hack for a Cause.
Yes.
So don't worry, Mom. We're not teaching your children how to hack. You're going to be fine. There's parents out there going, "What are they doing?"
Yeah. So sometimes people get hung up on that word hack, and so let me just lay the groundwork and establish some common language. So hack in this sense is more in the exploratory sense of the word, and that last part, a thon, comes from a marathon. So it's exploratory for the course of a weekend. We have professionals and students coming together and taking on challenges that benefit nonprofits that focus on making Eugene the best version of itself.
So when does this happen, and how do people get involved?
Sure. So the event is the second weekend in February. It's at the Downtown Athletic Club. You can find out more about the event on techoregon.org. And we're super excited to provide this platform for the community and offer an opportunity for tech professionals to perhaps make the most efficient use of their charitable time.
And other people in the community, if we're not a high-tech person, what are we going to get out of this? What will we see in this if we wanted to come and enjoy it?
Sure. So we have a number of challenges that are opportunities not just for people who do software development, but if you're a digital creative, perhaps if you are, your skills are editing video, or you're an artist who has aspirations around creating interactive art installations. We have a myriad of challenges, all of which benefit nonprofits or livability downtown that create great opportunities for folks to come forward, utilize their skills for the greater good, and have fun doing it.
Well, it's nice to see that you're not really excited about what you're doing. But thanks for being with us, and that's what's happening downtown.
It was brand new when Cy opened the store in 1978. 50 pounds of flour when we make the dough. It actually makes about 100 pounds of dough. We do this every day. Figure over 37 years, we probably made 13,000 batches of dough or more. It's the foundation of the pizza. Kind of the idea is you're just tightening it, getting the air out. No cracks, no holes in it. So from that 2-pound ball that had about a 6-inch diameter, we're taking it out to about 20 inches. Fresh ingredients. We make our dough, we grate our own cheese, we make our sauce, and I like to think that we make our pizzas with love. All right, that's 21 incher. Size matters.
%38 of the population is eligible to donate blood. In Lane County, that's about 125,000 people. But only 7% right now actually donate, and I was one of them until right now. One of the things people are afraid of is they think it's going to take a long time. The whole process from start to finish is about 45 minutes, but the actual blood draw is only about 5 to 10 minutes. All right, we're back to Goodwill. The third reason you should never have a garage sale. It's fast, it's quick, and it's easy. Watch. Think of all the stuff at your garage sale that you know won't sell. I mean, what are you going to do with all those candles and crayons? We know what to do with them. Goodwill recycles them and makes them into new candles and put folks to work at the same time. What about all that darn yarn? You'll try to sell it, it won't sell. Or those Matchbox cars. We bundle and package the stuff you can't sell and put people to work. Do you really want to have a garage sale? You should just take it to Goodwill. We know what to do with it. It's going to end up here anyway. The last two reasons are still coming. Now we're going to switch gears a little bit. Look me in the eye. You know this is a project we work on a lot. This month of September is proclamated by many cities all over Lane County as Look Me in the Eye Month. It's a time to pay attention to people with disabilities, to look them in the eye, to not walk by and ignore them. Take a look at this commercial we produced for them. Her name is Vicki Anderson.
I like lots of people.
She loves to sew. She makes beautiful rugs.
The message is we're smart. Just because we're disabled doesn't mean that we can't do something.
Sometimes Vicki feels ignored or marginalized. The Look Me in the Eye campaign gives her value.
Don't make fun of us just because we're different than you.
People look past her. She sees them, but they don't seem to notice her.
Look me in the eye means look us in the eye and see it from our point of view.
We want to thank the folks at McKinsey Mist Naturally Pure Artesian Water for sponsoring the water cooler. My wife was at the store the other day and she picked up a bottle of different water and she brought it home, she tasted it and she said to me, "This isn't McKinsey Mist, is it?" And I'm not making that up. That's really the truth. She notices the difference in the taste of the water, and you will too. The second to the top reason you should not have a garage sale has to do with your time. How valuable is your time? How much do you actually make in a garage sale? Don't figure it out. We did it for you. Hey, Aaron, come on, get your pole. Let's go fishing. You and me. Come on, let's go down to the river and go fishing.
Hey, honey, you got this, right? I can go.
No, you are not leaving.
Oh, that's right. You're having a garage sale. But while I'm out fishing, you'll be making thousands and thousands of dollars, right? So I looked it up online. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the median income for a single person in Oregon is roughly $26,000 a year plus some change. Divide that by 52 weeks. You come up with $503 a week. Divide that by 40 hours a week. And you come up with $12.58 an hour. So you spend 4 hours setting up. Then you have 2 days of actually working the garage sale, so that's 16 hours, and you're watching people paw through your stuff. Then roughly clean up to, let's say, 4 hours. Now you've got 24 hours tied up in your sale. Multiply that by $12.58, that's the dollars per hour you're making. You come up with $301.92. So what do you think you make at a garage sale, average? It's between $500 and $700. So let's say you make $600 at a garage sale. Let's take the $600 and we will subtract the $301.92 that cost you to work the garage sale, come up with a total of $298.08. Was it worth it? Less than $300? You should have just taken it to Goodwill. They know what to do with it. It's gonna end up there anyway.
What I love about this business is the people. I'm a people person, so I love to interact with people, and I love to make people feel good. So one of the ways, is obviously with food, because when people taste something that is really good and really authentic, and have a really good service, they feel good. So that's what we're passionate about is people. We really care about people. What I will tell you, about our food is that we prepare everything from scratch. So we make sure we hire people that have the passion for making food. That's one of the ingredients. The other one, we make sure that our recipes, they use the ingredients that we tell them to use. And before we put it into the market, we make sure we test, try it, So we make our food from scratch, and people that we have as employees, that they really care about how the food tastes. So they make sure that it's really good, authentic Mexican food. The only Americanized part, on these recipes are the melted cheese over, because people here like the melted cheese, And in Mexico we don't use that. But the flavor in the recipes and the ingredients, we use, all Mexican ingredients. But the only thing is Americanized is just to melt the cheese over on some of the items like enchiladas or burritos. But like the carne asada, we use, Mexican seasoning to make sure that the flavor stays up as a Mexican dish. The golden rule is, obviously to treat others as you like to be treated. So when we start the business is the same way. You just need to treat others as you like to be treated. So we train them how to take care of the guests, how to make sure the quality of the food is coming out. Because from that, it depends everything, If you don't bring a quality food, then you're done. People love the way the food tastes. They cannot find, this kind of taste, in town. Even though it's a Mexican restaurant and the menu can be similar to so-and-so, but when they taste the food, they can tell the difference. There's something in it that they cannot tell what it is, but it's more flavorful, more, I don't know, they can really tell that it's authentic Mexican food. It's not just like any other. We put some quotes in the wall, different quotes and all this, because in Mexico, and in a little town, our grandparents and parents always use quotes to talk to us. So we just took some quotes from here, from America, so we can mix, like our tradition with the American tradition. I will ask everybody to come, and give us a chat. And I make sure that I talk to them, if they don't like it, I pay for it, I'm very confident on our food, because we eat it every day and we don't get tired.
So that's it for tonight's show. I'd like to sit here and just tell you that this doesn't affect me, but it does. I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do, and I'm doing it because I met Nancy, and it's a good thing to do. There's a website on your screen you can go to if you need to find out more about giving blood. Thanks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.